What's up, guys? This is Mike Loris, and I'm here to bring you a game from the defense group stages. It is going to be between zNation and Mouz Sports. We're just going to dive right into the ban since zNation conveniently decided to not take forever on their first ban. And we first see a Chen, and Mouz responds with a Lycanthrope. Lycan not really seeing the light of day very often because he just takes so much actual effort from the teams to shut him down. Most of the time for jungle heroes, they're either farming in the jungle and aren't gonna do this and hide that, my bad. They're usually either sitting in the jungle and not gonna be a huge threat late game, such as I don't know, Darkseer, who's not really a very gank heavy jungler, or they're gonna be in your lane, so you don't really have to actively go out and search them, make sure they die. So that's probably why Lycan's getting pushed out. zNation banning 3 heavy pushers right off the bat. They're not going to have Leshrac, whose Edict destroys towers, or Mouz is not going to have the huge global presence of Nature's Prophet. And Mouz banning out the CK, who, since he just came out fairly recently, is one of the top bans. I'm not sure if it's because teams don't know how to play against him and he's really strong, or he's just really strong, period. I know, obviously, he's one of the strongest heroes out there, which is why you see him either picked regularly or banned regularly. He has, a crazy amount of utility, deals some pretty good damage, and is extremely tanky, and really, what more could you ask for? Final ban is going to be Darkseer. Enough has been said about Darkseer. He has the potential to jungle. He also handles the long lane fairly decently. And his team fights and utility is really unparalleled. Wall of Illusion could absolutely wreck a team, especially if you pick up someone who is a stat stacker like Morphling. He's just going to be getting a lot of agility, and then, hell, if you replicate him, all that farming of the Morphling goes towards your team. First pick from zNation is going to be Invoker. Very stable pick. There's a lot of versatility in there. And Mouz you don't really see Sand King and Enigma picked up right off the bat, but they're going for it. Enigma actually being their first pick, followed by Sand King. 2 huge team fight ultimates in the Black Hole and Epicenter, and if you get that off, cut the clips together, slap it on YouTube, get 1,000 hits, or 1,000,000 hits, or however many you want, because everyone loves seeing giant team fight ultimates come together like that. Outside of their ultimates, however, you get fairly good pushing power. You get the Burrow Strike and Sandstorm and Caustic Finale to clear the creep waves. And then, of course, you get the Eidolons to deal damage to whoever you want to deal damage to. Windrunner is going to be picked up by zNation, another fairly staple pick. So far, zNation has 2 very versatile utility heroes, but 2 heroes that could also deal a lot of damage if the situation calls for it. And there's the Morphling going to be played by zNation. So zNation is going to be set for the late game. They have that Morphling. And now it's just a matter of what supports they're going to be picking up to make sure that Morphling has a safe time. I doubt they're going to want to lane Windrunner or Invoker as a support hero. Invoker as a support hero, I don't think I've ever seen that. Actually, I have seen that once. It was god awful. You just got like cold snap and it didn't do anything. But that was not in a professional game. That was just random pub shenanigans. So Morphling probably going to be picking up 2 supports to go with him, and Mouz picking up that anti-mage. So they are going to be set for the late game as well. Both Morphling and anti-mage kind of similar. They hit their peaks in different times, however. So it's really up to the teams to act on when those heroes peak. It's also gonna really one of the. Okay, I'm gonna start again. One of the largest factors is gonna be how well each team supports their respective carries. Of course, Morphling has an innate advantage over Anti-Mage in that he is a ranged hero and that he's a lot harder to kill. You get the strength morphing as well as waveform, whereas Anti-Mage you just have the blink. Spell shield helps, but really it's not really comparable to a strength morph. And zNation picking up that Venomancer, they don't want Mouz to have that anti-push or level 1 presence. And Mouz on the other side picking up Shadow Demon, who is one of the best support heroes in the game in my opinion, because he's relevant through all points of the game. It's like Demonic Purge that's a pretty beastly slow as an ultimate, not to mention some pretty good damage, but really the main story of that is the disruption into Soul Catcher. Put that on an anti-mage, and if you follow up with a good stun somehow, then he's toast. So much damage coming out, and anti-mage being a very soft hero just doesn't have enough to compete with it. And zNation doing a very smart pick, ban, sorry, by eliminating the Queen of Pain, which is going to be one of the most played mid heroes, and at the moment Mouz does not have a hero to really solo up the mid lane or dual lane quite yet. It's not unheard of to see a Lich anti-mage or CM anti-mage or something like that, but they're still going to have to pick that up, and if they don't decide to go that route, then they would need a solo mid hero, and Queen of Pain is already taken, Invoker is already taken. Those are some of the most common and most powerful solo mid heroes. Of course, you always have like Storm Spirit, or I don't know. I want to see an AA solo mid. You haven't seen that in a long time, but they still have some choices going out there. Earthshaker is going to be the final ban by Mouz, knowing that Morphling is going to need support heroes, which is why they banned the two in Shadow Demon and Earthshaker. So I bet zNation probably going to be picking up something like a Lich, CM, or Vengeful Spirit. If I was the captain, then that's what I would be doing to protect that Morphling. You already got some heroes who could handle the other lanes. And there we go. We have a Lich being picked up by zNation. Going to be going with that Morphling. Possibly dual laning mid lane. Lich Morphling does have a pretty good control. You have the denies coming out from Lich to make sure your lane doesn't overextend. And then of course the Frost Blast into wave form deals pretty good magical damage. And doing that, Mouz actually, they are picking up a CM. Just a matter of time to see what the last picks are going to be. We have Shadow Shaman being picked up by zNation, so support Shadow Shaman perhaps? Tri-lane with the Morphling? Or Shadow Shaman mid and Windrunner are going to be going with the Morphling? zNation really has a lot of flexibility in their lanes, and Mouz has to be prepared for any combination of those. Even though, realistically, Shadow Shaman supporting the Windrunner, and, well, now it's going to be, I'm going to put my money on tri-laning with the Shadow Shaman. And Broodmother is the last pick for Mouz, so most likely on Mouz we're going to see a Broodmother solo, Enigma jungle, Enigma long lane, and a CM anti-mage Sand King aggressive tri-lane. I have no idea what they're going to be laning, but Mouz also has some flexibility with the Enigma pick. They could put him into a solo lane, or they could put him into the jungle and have Sand King try to handle that hard lane, which against, it shouldn't turn out that poorly for Mouz. So their lanes are looking pretty solid, but right now it's just a matter of, is the support for Morphling going to be more than the support for Anti-Mage? The other lanes, they don't have the most kill potential, so you know, probably most of the action is going to happen where the carries are, since both teams are going to be gunning for kills on not so much the carries, since the carries both have pretty reliable escape mechanisms, but they're probably going to be going for the support heroes, who always tend to overextend while trying to protect the carries, which is, you know, it's the unfortunate life of the support hero. Introducing the players, we have 1437 going to be playing the support Crystal Maiden, Sing Sing on the Broodmother. Bambo, no longer sexy, now sad Bambo. I don't know, maybe he lost some self-confidence, so everyone make sure Bambo is feeling good if you see him. Black is going to be playing the carry anti-mage, and Come With Me is going to be playing on the Enigma. On the zNation side, we have Wek God on the support Lich, Sedoy on the Morphling, Stallioner on the Shadow Shaman, and Nexus on the Windrunner. The last pick, still currently not here. I honestly don't know who that is. I'm not familiar enough with zNation, but whoever that is going to be playing the Invoker. It is going to be Crazy Invoker, who unfortunately got screwed over with the base damage. You got nothing. That's actually kind of cool. Picking during the pause phase gives you no damage. Better hope that actually goes up. Here we go. The game is about to start up. 3, 2, 1, and the game is live. Right off the bat, you see Morphling going for that Ring of Protection. Pretty standard stuff. It gives you about the same amount of protection on a ranged hero as a Stout Shield goes, as a Stout Shield for a melee hero. So just like a little bit of harassment protection, and it looks like it is going to be a Shadow Shaman support with a Lich support. Windrunner, I mean, like, she doesn't have the wards, so it's going to be these two supports right here with the Windrunner transitioning out. And Crazy right now hasn't gotten an orb yet. Sing Sing in the meantime is going to be using a web to clear off these trees. And where's Stumpy? There's Stumpy. He's so adorable. He has really fiery eyes. Wonder what he has in his back. Yeah, there you go. Sing Sing clearing off the trees, making sure he's not going to get jumped through this area right here. He's going to have wide, clear vision of that.
30 seconds to battle.
And actually, Mouz has not taken it on themselves to block any of the pull camps yet. But Stallioner does have those sentry wards, so he's going to be prepared for it when the time comes. Looks like Bambo, Sexy Bambo, I'm just going to call him Sexy Bambo since that's what everyone knows him as. Sexy Bambo going to be playing the solo top Sand King. And he's probably going to be going up against the Windrunner. Windrunner's obviously going to have a much better time. Windrunner does have a little bit more damage. She is ranged, and she has Power Shot, which she can spam a lot more than Sand King can spam any of his spells. Right now we actually have Lich transitioning up to the top lane. It might just be to deny a creep, and then he's going to move out, or he might stay and support the Windrunner. Looks like that is what they're going to do. And on the bottom lane we have a Morphling with an invisible Shadow Shaman going to be up against the Broodmother. Morphling Broodmother is really not going to be that much of a problem for Morphling. But of course, once you get the Shadow Shaman, then you have a complete shutdown of the Broodmother. You just put down the sentry wards and pressure him back. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Crazy on the Invoker picks up level 1 of Exhort. Not a rare thing at all. It doesn't even mean he's going to go for an Exhort build. Sometimes you just see Invokers grab that level 1 of Exhort and then switch out into a Quas Wex build, as you see Sing Sing already being forced to use his salve. Probably got way too close, but Morphling took Morph at level 1 just to get those easy stats. You see he transformed a lot of it to agility because he knows that he is going to be completely safe. He has the Shadow Shaman who's constantly scouting out the enemy, well, their own jungle actually. So if anything is going to come on Morphling, it is going to be straight from the tower. And if he does that, he can just simply waveform away. So sitting at 454 health, no, that's not techies, that is a Morphling. Looks like the mid lane is actually going to be a dual lane of Invoker Lich. So this Lich taking the tour of the map. Of course, Lich and CM kind of similar as far as supports go because one, they're both Frost themed, and you know you never have enough Frost themed characters. But CM is a little bit more aggressive than the Lich. You get 2 magic damage spells coming out from her instead of just the 1 coming out from the Lich. But then again, the Lich does have that sacrifice, so he is going to be denying some creeps. Come with me, farming up in the jungle as an Enigma, and let's take a look at this top lane. Yeah, Bambo already losing 2 of his tangos and taking a lot of hits from Nexus, as well as being outlast hit by him. So, it's power of a melee, power of a ranged hero against a melee hero. See Bambo doing a little bit of damage to Nexus with his Bro Strike, but taking a lot more in right clicks. So it's not going to be a favorable lane for Mouz Sports on the top lane. Crazy's still level 2, so we're going to see what he tries. Actually, it's really going to be at level 3 and 4 when we get to see what he's actually going to be going for. But he does have that Sunstrike out, and that Sunstrike will be invaluable if the zNation ever decides to make a go onto Sing Sing. Sing Sing, Broodmother, not the most durable of heroes. Of course, he has a lot of sustain in the webs. He can just chill in there and get pretty good regeneration up. Now as we see Shadow Shaman coming in with the Sentry Ward, and he's going to be shackling up Sing Sing, taking a lot of damage. There goes the shock, but I don't think they can finish it. Waveform actually completely missing. It might not even matter though, as Morphling does right-click Sing Sing for the first blood, and he's going to transform some of his stats up to strength to avoid getting killed by the tower. Looks like zNation not even needing that that Sunstrike. You would expect a Sunstrike to come right after the Shackle. I mean, like, why not? It's free damage. It pretty much ensures the kill, but even with the missed Morphling waveform, they still managed to pick up the kill. Broodmother, 600, well, now 660 health. Not the most tanky hero. Looks like top lane, 1437, actually moving out from his position. I don't know. I have to decide what I'm going to do with female characters. Sam moving to the top lane, leaving Anti-Mage alone. So Anti-Mage right now is going to be completely shut down. He's not going to be getting anything on. Already he's struggling. He is 8 for 4, while Invoker, on the other hand, is 18 for 10. So not only a lot of CS in the favor of Invoker, but a lot of denies as well. And that kind of reflects Anti-Mage doesn't, I mean, like, the Lich who's supporting him has just as much experience as the Anti-Mage. So heavy denies coming out from this mid lane. Not to mention the sacrifices that the Lich is constantly casting. But 1437, with just the puny 46 base damage, is buying some space for Bambo to just farm up. And if you put a Sand King in a solo lane and he doesn't get anything, well, it's obviously going to hurt you in the long run. Let's see how Morphling is doing. Morphling is 21 for 6. He has gotten that bottle, and he is killing spiders, because spiders are annoying. Looks like a courier getting tapped a little bit by the Anti-Mage, so now they know where Anti-Mage is. They know he has an illusion rune. But really, what is this Anti-Mage going to do? I mean, like, he could blink and burn a little bit of your mana, but he's not really much of a threat. And as I say that, he's actually going to go around as Frost Nova going off on Nexus, and we have Anti-Mage. Is he going to go in with those illusions? He could tank the tower pretty decently. They're probably just going to clear out this wave as soon as they can and try for it. No, Black is actually going to retreat. Wet God did come around to back the top lane up, so Anti-Mage not really being efficient with his time. Well, he got the illusion rune, great, but I don't think anyone in zNation is really trying to contest the runes. Not really. Contesting runes is great, but Invoker doesn't really need to do that to remain extremely powerful. Sing Sing does have his soul ring up, so he's going to be spamming quite a bit on that bot lane. But Shadow Shaman with that level 2 shock, it's going to be level 3 as soon as he can get it to that, is going to be able to clear out the creep waves. Not to mention a Morphling with a bottle of Ring of Basilius and a level... man, I missed the kill on Lich. Lich just wandered in a little bit too close. We have a Black Hole going out to crazy. Black is here to right-click the Invoker just a little bit. There goes the Sunstrike, going to be doing a lot of damage to Black, and Black might go down from this. Not before taking out the Invoker, however. Black surviving with 54 health, and crazy goes down to the Black Hole. That's what happens when you leave an Enigma there. You see actually a Shackle going on to the Sing Sing. Waveform coming through as well. They just need a couple more right clicks. Shadow Shaman's right click is going to be enough. Just taking quite a bit of damage from the Spiderlings, but looks like he's going to be just fine. And Windrunner, in the meantime, missing kills left and right. I apologize. But he was solo killing the Sand King. Sand King actually managed to get more creep kills than the Windrunner, so good on the Sand King. Looks like that's CM support really pressuring the Windrunner back, and of course threat of Anti-Mage from before also helping to accomplish that. Wet God putting down a ward, so they now know where 1437 is, and Nexus is now in trouble as you see a Crystal Maiden heading him off. Where's the skin of the Frostbite? There's the Frostbite right there. We have a Burrow Strike into transition there, and Epicenter also, so Nexus is dead, sir. There's your Sand King kill. Sand King pulling farther ahead of the Windrunner, even with that Lich support, but Lich only level 4, not able to put out too much hurt. Looks like this Invoker is actually going to be going for an Exort build, putting 3 into Exort. I don't think he's Sunstruck the bottom lane though. There's something kind of weird. I mean, like, you have the most reliable disables and Hex and Shackles, and there's no Sunstrike. But I'm sure they'll get around to that eventually. You see the bottom tower for the Dire being taken out. No Morphling, unfortunately for him, did not get the last hit, but he's going to get another chance as the wards plop down for the tier 2 tower. And looks, Mouz is going to need a lot more than a Broodmother to back this up. And here comes Bambo, Sand King. Unfortunately for him, he does not have his Epicenter, and a Burrow Strike, although it is level 3, it's most likely not going to get a kill. Like, you do have Broodlings, Spiderlings. Broodlings are not in this game. Spiderlings, and you do have a Burrow Strike, which is quite a bit of raw damage. It looks like Broodmother actually denying the tower underneath the ward, so good play by the Broodmother right there. And Stallioner kind of messing up there, I guess. Not timing it, or they had some sick mind games with the wards and the Broodmother, but either way, a good play by the Broodmother allows for a tower deny, as we now see Enigma and Crystal Maiden smoked up. They want blood on this Invoker, and Bambo at any time could Burrow Strike in. Crazy, if he gets too close, you're going to be very, very dead, sir. The right-clicking Bambo playing with fire as Come With Me is now revealed. 1437 still there in the smoke, and there she is revealed as well. She's going to run right into the Invoker. There goes the Frostbite. Is there going to be a stun? The question is there going to be a Black Hole? Doesn't look like they need it. They're doing quite a bit with the right clicks onto Crazy. And Crazy going to cast his Ghost Walk, but no, a blind. Well, that wasn't really blind. I'm sure it was fairly obvious where he was going, but a Burrow Strike nonetheless. Going to get Mouz another kill onto that Invoker. Good plays by the supports of Mouz. Let's see how their Anti-Mage is farming. Anti-Mage is not having a good time at all. 19 for 6 versus 33-16. And Morphling has a lot more than Anti-Mage. And look at how far Morphling is on to his bot lane. He has no ward control, but he's just so confident in his ability to escape, and that might be the death of him, as we see a smoked up party of 3 going to be going onto the Morphling as Broodmother starts right-clicking. There goes a Burrow Strike, and wow. Burrow Strike, Spiderlings, and that's it. That's all you need. So, Morphling playing a little bit too aggressively there. I mean, like, you have no wards and you're all the way over here. You're going to get ganked. Everyone knows that. I don't know, he must have been extremely confident in his abilities, but Smoked Up Sand King did get the jump on him. In the meantime, however, zNation, after losing that Morphling, or say that they're going to retaliate by taking a tier 1 tower on the bot lane. Bambo does appear with goes into Sandstorm. These wards still doing, actually they're actually focusing on creeps right now. It's probably good since they could be taken down before, well, once the tower gets into deny range. On the bottom lane we see Morphling trying to go in to Come With Me. He's taking a lot of damage from the spiders, and Come With Me canceling that Black Hole. That was close. Could have very close to just completely whiffing that Black Hole. But Sadoy doing good damage onto the Enigma, forcing him back and remaining pretty safe in the meantime. And Sand King actually managing to deny the tower. So 2 tower denies coming out from Mouz, as now he's looking for blood. He does have that Epicenter off, but he needs to catch a Shadow Shaman in the Burrow Strike as well if he wants to get it off. Looks like he's not going to be going for that. Right now, at least. He might still go. There goes the Epicenter onto the Invoker, and the Invoker is going to fall down right here. Sand King on a killing spree. Does have his Arcane Boots, and that killing spree is going to help him on his way to a Blink Dagger. Top lane Black is resorting to pulls, and once an Anti-Mage has to pull himself, he's not in good shape. As you see a Hex going off onto him, he's going to be right-clicked down. There's a Power Shot actually going to be used to get the last hit. So Anti-Mage not having a good time at all. So far zNation doing pretty well for themselves. Mouz actually, I missed them taking the tier 1 in the mid. But zNation should be pretty far ahead as far as gold and experience goes. Actually experience, 2 kills keeping Mouz kind of equal as far as the experience goes. But the gold still going pretty heavy in the favor of zNation. As we see Come With Me now teleporting top to defend this tower. This tower, is it 130? 10% of health they need to deny, so the tower unfortunately not in deny range. That would be pretty bad for zNation if Mouz managed to get a 3rd deny. We have a lot of the Mouz team grouping up here. Even Morphling left his lane of farm. As we see a failed shackle going on Come With Me, but he's being chased down by the Lich, who's a little bit faster than him. Looks like they're going to instead go for the Anti-Mage. No? Maybe they're just going to push out the lane and just try to take the tower. No need to overextend and risk your life when you can just take the sure thing in the tower up here. And it's like Mouz is not going to be able to deny this one as Morphling picks up the last hit. Morphling also picking up a Ghost Scepter, so he's going to be going for a shotgun, and the lineup on Mouz is not really prepared to take a shotgun. I'm like, Anti-Mage, once he gets some Spell Shield, he could be pretty resilient to it, but everyone else on Mouz They're all really weak. Broodmother actually has quite a bit of health. Strength treads. The war is now going down for zNation. So they're going to be trying to take down this tower. Come with me, taking a little bit of the Serpent aggro. We see Shackle and a Sunstrike, completely obliterating the Crystal Maiden. So there's the Sunstrike that I was talking about. We see a Burrow Strike onto Nexus as Bambo gets hexed up immediately, and a Chain Frost as well. Yeah, that is going to be dodged by Sandstorm, so good play by Bambo, and Nexus is going to survive out of that as he gets earned up by the Shadow Shaman. Looks like Crazy is the only one who's going to be falling here. You see a Power Shot trying to help, but Crazy actually has a Force Staff. He can get Ghost Walk. There goes the Ghost Walk. Is there any detection? There is no detection. Invoker actually grabs the Haste Rune. So no slow detriment from Ghost Walk there. Invoker is going to go wherever he wants, and he's going to be invisible while he's doing that. I don't think it really would have made much of a difference. Mouz could have tried to blind kill him, but that would have been extremely risky and extremely costly on the man as we see a Meteor trying to thin out the middle lane push from Mouz. But Mouz is all here. They do have Epicenter? They do have Epicenter. So if they want to make something happen, they could. They also have a black hole, but instead, they all decide to go their separate ways. Sing Sing going to be farming up the jungle, 1437, and Come With Me. I don't know, going to help him, maybe? I actually see Bambo going on to Wet God as he's going to take something. There goes a Cold Snap, and Windrun from the Windrunner slowing him down. Let's see who's going to get the last hit on this. Windrunner with the Power Shot is going to end Sexy Bambo's killing spree and get herself quite a bit of gold. She already has the mech and arcane boots, so she's farming pretty well because, like, on the top lane, she was pretty safe. She wasn't really in that much of a threat. She was forced back a little bit by the enemy Crystal Maiden of 1437, but really that wasn't that influential on her farm. See, Come With Me also has a mech and a soul ring, but no arcane boots. So Windrunner a little bit ahead of Enigma in that regard. Of course, it's kind of making irrational item comparisons, but I don't care. Looks like zNation, they do have their wards up again. They're going to go down right now. They're going to be trying to get the tier 2 tower of the mid. As you see Sexy Bambo circling around looking for a Burrow Strike. If he gets 2 or 3, he could channel into that Epicenter, and Lich does not have his interrupt. Invoker does have an interrupt with Cold Snap, and Shadow Shaman and Windrunner all have it if they get it out fast enough. So Sexy Bambo needs a pretty good Burrow Strike if he's actually going to get a solo Epicenter without any help from Come With Me or from 1437. Looks like Nexus instead going to be looking for Black, who still does not have anything. He has Power Treads, and that's it. So zNation doing a very good job of applying pressure, and every single time they go to push a lane, they use the wards, put a little bit more damage onto the towers. This one's almost at half health. This one's below half health as well. And they're not even using the Morphling. Morphling is getting free time to farm. He's currently sitting at 2,300 gold. This is a little bit more, 1,000 more gold worth of creeps, and then he is just going to shotgun everyone on Mouz Sports. Mouz Sports doesn't really have a response for that. Everyone who Morphling sees will die. 663 health on the Crystal Maiden, 943 on Enigma, 1,000 on the Broodmother. Broodmother might survive. Anti-Mage, only 1 level of Spell Shield and 910 HP, so he is extremely soft as well. And Sand King is also going to be food. So once that shotgun comes out, it's not going to be fun, as we see Sudoi using his waveform to clear out the creeps. Says, "Come with me." What are you doing there? Come with me. Oh, it's always so heartbreaking when you see someone just completely out of position and you have no idea what they're doing, and you know that he's probably kicking himself for being that out of position. And, like, sure, he was kind of helping out Sing Sing, but yeah, he didn't stand a chance there. That is going to delay his, actually, is he going to get a Hood and Pipe? Pipe Enigma, not the most rare of builds. You do see it occasionally. Of course, that is going to put Mouz at the weakness of having both Mech and Pipe on the same hero, which is going to make that particular hero pretty difficult to take down. But if zNation does manage to take him down, like, say, through a shotgun, then they lose all those bonuses. And a shotgun is a pretty fast kill. You're going to have to be pretty quick if you want to drop off both your Pipe and Mech, not to mention a Black Hole. But we'll see. Maybe he's just going to hold that cloak just for the extra health it gives. As you see Invoker actually getting the last click onto the tier 2 mid tower, and those wards are used. They don't have to do anything else. Wait 95 seconds. Just play defensively and wait for Morphling to finish up his shotgun, which is now going to be flown out to him. So zNation playing this extremely well. Every time those wards are up, they are at one of Mouz's towers, and they're knocking it down. Slowly getting more and more ahead from the gold. Actually, kind of leveled out there, but pulling the experience back into their favor, and that is even with an ethereal bladed morphling versus a nothing anti-mage. So zNation at a pretty commanding lead, as up until this point they have been playing 4v5. Morphling pretty much doing his own thing, as Black now is in danger of getting nailed by the Morphling. Black does not have support quite yet. If he jumps in onto Shadow Shaman, then he is going to get killed immediately. Looks like zNation is going to play it safe. They don't know where Mouz is, so if you jump in like that, you're going to run a risk of getting killed. And yeah, Hood going to be going up on Enigma. We'll see if he wants to turn that into a pipe or just hold it as a Hood. I'm sure pipe is on the docket eventually. Bambo managed to pick up his Blink Dagger, so he's going to have that Blink Epicenter. Should do a lot of damage to zNation. They are also pretty soft. They do have a mech up. No pipe, but they're going to be taking a lot of damage from that Epicenter if Bambo manages to get it off. zNation don't have their wards up yet. 5 seconds. The drum's going to be going up on Shadow Shaman, and he actually has it right now. He wants to fly it out to him. But their wards are up. They could go onto this top lane, try to bring it down with the wards, or they could even smoke up and look for blood and then push down the base towers once they get into a good position. Morphling actually picking up double damage and doing half of his shotgun. Actually, not half of his shotgun. Just the Ethereal Blade portion, but that did 300 damage. An easy 300 damage, and that's 1/3 of Sand King's health. So Sand King is in danger of the Morphling. I don't think a shotgun blast would outright kill him, but once you have teammate support, once you have a couple of right clicks, it is going to be enough. Black actually not getting shackled. The shackle attempt was there, but it was a little bit too off. So defense going out from zNation. Sudoi does have double damage rune, and Mouz would be smart to back away, as that's exactly what they're doing. Sing Sing, unfortunately, not taking down this tower. Like, ideally, that's what you want your Broodmother to be doing. You want him to be taking down towers while all of your teammates are doing something else. But now he has a Black King bar, and now he's going to try for it. As we see, Blink Epicenter going off onto Sudoi and Stalliner. They're taking a huge amount of damage, and Ultimate from Anti-Mage is going to take the kill. Black is going to go down, however, as is Sand King. They actually didn't even get the Shadow Shaman. They only managed to get the Morphling. Obviously, Morphling is the more important kill, but using an Epicenter like that and a Mana Void, you expect to get at least 2 kills. So not the best engagement, as we see an engagement going on to 1437. There goes the mech trying to keep him lit. Nexus is going to get frostbitten, but he could probably just right click 1437 down. As you can see, a power shot missing by just a little bit. Stalliner now coming around, just letting off a shock to clear off those Eidolons, and they do know that there's vision up there. It's going to be a race to see who's going to take out the wards first. The miss, actually, wow, everything's going down. You see 1437 barely avoiding death there. Sunstrike just a little bit off point. Gonna allow the CM to walk out of this. We see Anti-Mage reviving and returning. He does have his ultimate orb, which is going to be built into a Manta eventually. Bambo blinking in, try to catch someone off guard, but all of zNation is smoked, and I actually like this play a lot. Mouz is going to expect them to completely fall back, but instead they're going to still push this. 40 seconds until those Serpent wards are up, and Black is not going to expect this at all. If they get a Hex on him, he is dead. There's the Hex, and there's the Shackle. Perfect. Sunstrike and Deafening Blast are going to be enough to annihilate the Anti-Mage. And this is going to be zNation's cue to continue pushing down this top tower. All the while, Morphling just free farming on the bot lane. Sing Sing has kind of been doing the same thing, actually, free farming on the bot lane-ish, the jungle. But you get a lot more damage. You get a lot more gold from just actually killing the creeps, especially when you keep pushing it out. And Sing Sing, he does have a BKB, which is good. I would bench on the floor, but Morphling has a frickin' Ethereal Blade and a Ogre Club, most likely going to be building towards a BKB. He's getting blocked up by Bambo, so he probably knows that someone is there. Do they have any true sight? They do have a gem from Shadow Shaman, so they're going to be looking for an invisible something. I don't know what it is, I don't think. Well, they might know it's Sand King, but it doesn't really matter what it is. Whatever's invisible, it's going to be killed. Looks like instead they want to go for the mid lane and see Black a little bit out of position. With his shotgun going off and come with me. He is going to be annihilated. And they're going to try to catch someone else off guard. Force Staff from the Invoker. Deafening Blast is going to catch 1437, slowing him down just a little bit. Frost Blast going off. And a Shackle as well. Going to be taking out the Crystal Maiden. Brown, still invisible, but that is going to run out. And he has to get out of there. Lucky for him, no one on zNation and no one from the creeps is enough. Well, actually, it might have been enough. They do know that Bambo's there. He's going to blink away to avoid that right click. But Nexus is on the chase. He's just going to keep right clicking him. He's going to actually fall back. They actually are breaching the high ground of Mouz Sports. Serpent Wards have been dropped down. You got the Forge Spirits. You got a large creep wave right here. This tower is going to be going down. See a Blink Epicenter coming out from Bambo as Anti-Mage actually taking out someone very easily. That was a Shadow Shaman. Chain Frost killing, bouncing around on everyone, but not really doing enough. See Sing Sing and Black both at extremely low health, and here comes Come With Me a little bit late to the party. He's looking for someone to stun. He is going to catch Nexus. No. He waved his arms, but nothing happened. So Mouz Sports, with that Blink Epicenter and that Anti-Mage ultimate, are going to hold their mid lane. I'm sorry. SK did pay for it with his life, but you know what? They got the Lich, they got the Morphling, they got the Shadow Shaman. So a very good exchange by Mouz, as we now see a pause because Bambo is being sad and disconnecting from the game. Gatorade. Num 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 num. Let's do a quick farm check, actually. Sadoy, 163 creep kills, is only a little bit ahead of Sing Sing. Actually, surprising amount of farm from Sing Sing. He has gotten the Black King Bar and a Chrysalis, so he's gonna have crit. I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, like, crit obviously gives you a lot of damage, but against a Morphling, against a Windrunner, against an Invoker, against a Shadow Shaman, you really expect something like Orchid to come out, because once you Orchid the Morphling, he was really not as effective, and he doesn't have his escape mechanism. He can't cast any of his spells. Once you do the same thing to the Windrunner, no more Windrun. She does have a Force Staff, though, so it's fair enough. Sadoy, though, has his Ethereal Blade and his Ogre Club. See how the supports are farming. 19 on the Lich, 22 on the Crystal Maiden, so these two are kind of even. Shadow Shaman has about as much farm as Black, so Black only 90 CS. He's actually being out CS by 2 members of his team, and that's not what you want to have happen as Mouz. Black is just simply not getting enough. I don't even think he's getting that many kills with Mana Void. Did he get... Well, actually, he did manage to get a double kill, so that's going to help him quite a bit. And I don't know, we just have a long-ass pause, so fair enough. See the gold graph. Gold graph is in favor of zNation. zNation still is in the good lead. They might be pushing themselves a little bit too much, though. I mean, like, obviously when you have the wards up, you want to be using them because they're just so powerful and they do fall off later in the game. So technically they should be pushing, although their pushes just aren't going too well for them. They're clumping up. They're getting hit by the Epicenter, and even though they have a Chain Frost, even though they have a lot of teamfight abilities coming out from the Invoker, you have Shackle, you have Ethereal Blade, Shotgun, Morphling, they're getting picked off, and I mean, like, they should be taking these fights a little bit more handily if they just play a little bit more safe, but they're just breaching the high ground, no problem. Granted, it was pretty damn effective. Like, they did take out all but 80 health of this tier 1 tower. Tier 3 tower. That's not a tier 1 tower. Doesn't look like a tier 1 tower. I'm just kidding, they all look the same. But this tower is just a little bit from dying. They could even backdoor that. 88 HP is nothing. Then the racks are just a couple clicks away. Looks like these creeps actually... Oh, they're all correctly labeled. Look at that. Sorry, I just had a problem before with creeps being incorrectly labeled, and it was driving me crazy. The experience gained with 13 kills to 10 kills, you would expect it to be in favor of zNation. Although Mouz, with the Enigma jungle in the beginning, and the Broodmother just constantly doing his own thing, getting a lot of experience on his own, is keeping it from being too overwhelming. As you see it drop down from 3,000 to a little bit under 2,000 with that last fight, so let's get rid of that. Mouz doing what they can to stay in this game. However, as the game draws on, zNation is just going to get a lot more powerful, a lot more quickly. I mean, like, Morphling already has the Ethereal Blade, and he could use that to kind of accelerate his farm by just knocking down the Mouz heroes. He's not really doing that too much. He's mostly getting engaged upon instead of being the one who's getting engaged. So Morphling's going to have to be careful about that, but Anti-Mage has jack shit. He has an ultimate orb, and that's it. That's it. He has an ultimate orb. And an Anti-Mage with nothing is not going to be doing much come late game, so Mouz has to really turtle up extremely hard. Of course, later on, they do have the Black Hole, which is one of the most devastating ultimates late game, since, you know, just a huge AoE disable is a huge AoE disable. Plus, Broodmother is farming rather decently herself. I think I'm just going to call female heroes her and male heroes he, regardless of what the player's gender is. Pretty sure they're all male, actually. I don't know. I haven't really seen pictures of many of these guys. I'm going to assume all the players are male. But if any of these are female, that's good on them. Esports always needs females. Should like run recruiting ads for that. I'm sure it'll win a lot of the ladies. Lich actually has phase boots and bracer, so not much on Lich, but you wouldn't expect much from him either. Voidstone on the Windrunner, going to give him a little bit of mana regeneration, is going to be built into a sheep stick later on. Heard a Sunstrike go off somewhere. I'm not sure where that was, but Invoker actually picking up the pipe. You don't see that very often, and Invoker, I mean, like, he's a decent pipe holder. He's pretty hard to kill. He has the Ghost Walk. He has lots of slows, and you got the Deafening Blast pushback. So he's going to be hard to engage on, but zNation making another push towards the mid lane. They do have the wards up. They're instantly being dropped, and this tower is going to be taken down. One more touch. There we go. Shadow Shaman taking the last hit with his wards. And now the Racks are in trouble. Where is the Sand King? The Sand King is actually outside of his base, so they're not going to expect this epicenter if he decides to do it. They actually are going to find him. That is not good. He burrow strikes out, and looks like his blink is up, so he's going to be fine. There's wards, however, taking about half of the Rax's health, so 2 more of those pushes are, no, screw that, they're just going to go for it. Nexus has reached the high ground, and Sidoi taking a lot of damage from a lot of the spell casts. He's now at half health. He didn't even get his Ethereal Blade combo off. He's going to be drinking his bottle, trying to restore himself. The Forge Spirits, however, doing work on the melee Rax. Power shot going through 1437. Crazy does get frostbitten up and get Spiderlings injected into him, but he's just going to summon more Forge Spirits, continue the push to the high ground. There goes the pipe, but the huge epicenter going to catch 4 people, and the Black Hole, where's the Black Hole? Black Hole is going to be catching 3 from zNation, and its Chain Frost is bouncing around on the Mouz side, however. Crazy looks like is going to be going down. Stalianer is going to get killed by Black, who now has a double kill. Black might even get a triple. No, Broodmother is going to pick up that last kill. So a complete 5-for-0 team wipe in favor of Mouz Sports. They barely managed to hold their Racks. They drop all their ultimates, and it's just looking good for them. Huge epicenter, and more importantly, though, a huge burrow strike. That caught, what, 4 of them? 4 of the zNation heroes? And you had the Enigma ultimate, which went for, I'm pretty sure, almost the entirety of its duration. It might have gotten cancelled a little bit near the end, but that really held off a lot of zNation's killing power as they were being dragged into the black abyss of Enigma's black hole. So overall, a very good fight for Mouz Sports. Unfortunately for them, they really need more, because even though they had a hugely successful team fight, zNation could do the same thing, and even if zNation gets wiped, Mouz Sports is going to lose a Rax. And they do have another tower, zNation does, and they should have buybacks if they decide to do that again. I'm pretty sure Shadow Shaman has a buyback. Sidoi, I can't click on Sidoi, there he is. He doesn't have buyback either, but taking a Rax and probably not getting completely wiped, especially if they do it soon, it will be beneficial for them. As you see, Shadow Shaman actually disconnecting from the game. Please don't restart your entire computer. That took enough time for Bambo to do it. But the thing is, zNation, even though they got wiped, they're still they're actually not much in the lead. The lead is actually being taken by Mouz, but zNation still has a lot of momentum going behind them. Even though they did get team wiped, they can just simply drop down the wards again and take a Rax, and that'll put them at a huge advantage, an advantage that'll just keep growing as the game progresses. Something that's actually fairly disappointing to me is this Morphling. I mean, I'm not sure if it's because he's not in the correct position, or it's because, well, that's actually pretty cool. Let's just take a look at that. I'm not sure if it's because the Morphling hasn't been doing his combos correctly, or if Mouz has been positioning themselves so that Morphling has to dive a lot farther than he wants to in order to get his combo off, but he got that Ethereal Blade and only has one kill. Like, Crystal Maiden, what the hell? Crystal Maiden has a Morbid Mask, gonna be going for Vlad's. Unless she wants to go for Mask of Madness, which is obviously, quite frankly, a better build for Crystal Maiden. Make sure you play Mask of Madness, Crystal Maiden in all of your games. It will make you a lot of friends. Trust me. And let's see what's going on. Sand King, with those good epicenters, got a lot of assists. Pretty sure he got a couple of kills too. Now has a Force Staff completed, just sitting in his stash. See him burrowing and doing his own thing over there. Let's see what Black has. Black managed to pick up a Perseverance and a Manta Style from those fights. Those ultimates, I'm pretty sure the ultimates have been landing killing blows, but more importantly, since zNation is clumping up so much, the ultimates are going to be doing a lot of damage to, well, everyone on the zNation side, and that means he's guaranteed to get assists. Looks like they took notice of the Sand King. Sand King looks pretty badass. And why is a French now? What is his name? I don't know, is that a French name? Maybe Frog TV is a French organization? I have no idea. But Sing Sing is going to get that Yasha, so not interested in completing his Daedalus quite yet. Of course, he is going to get it eventually, but Yasha, he might just hold it for the movement speed and then decide to go into Daedalus, but holding that Yasha gives him the option of going into Manta or going into Daedalus. Both will increase his DPS by quite a bit, and BKB still at 9 charges, so he has a healthy amount there. zNation looks like they're ready to go. They're going to be pushing down the mid lane once again. Invoker, unfortunately for zNation, is not with them, but really they just need a couple hits with those Serpent Wards, and that'll be it for the Rax. Sudoi actually peeling off, however, he does have a Windrunner clone following the real Windrunner. I wonder which one's real. But yeah, looks like zNation has effectively 4 people in the mid lane, going to be trying for this melee Rax. They just need to lay down the Serpent Wards and do a couple of right clicks, and also Invoker could help. Dropped out his Forge Spirits to push down the top lane, and Forge Spirits did do a lot of damage before with so many points in Exhort. Dropping down the Forge Spirits and missing Shadow Strike, but a huge Shackle Shot onto Black as Black's taking a lot of spell damage. He's going to get hexed up as well. Is he going to go down though? Black taking a lot of damage, and he's going to blink out just fine as you have a huge epicenter in the back. Sing Sing popped his BKB, and he's going to town and everyone else. Black did manage to get shackled to a creep. 1437 now dropping his ultimate. Not going to hit much, however, as Sudoi manages to waveform away. Black revives with that Aegis the Immortal, and the only one they picked off so far was a Shadow Shaman. Wet God now in trouble of being picked off, and you see the Meteor coming down doing a little bit of damage, but Crazy is to Force Staff himself onto the high ground as even the neutrals want to come in for this, giving Come With Me a free conversion. And you see a double Burrow Strike allowing Anti-Mage to pick up Lich and the Invoker for a double kill. Wow, that was a great fight for Mouz Sports. They didn't even allow zNation to get the high ground. And really, if they did, it would have been all over. They would have, well, I mean, like, it would have, the game still wouldn't have been over, but they would have taken a Rax hit, and that's something that's makes the game a lot harder to recover from. Come With Me looks like he's gonna get sheeped up, chickened up, hexed up. You see a lot of damage going on to Slaliner. Mouz 1437 now on the run from Sudoi. You see Shotgun actually going on Come With Me, but he has a pipe. You don't want to shotgun the one with the pipe. So he's still going on to Come With Me as we see Bambo going on to Stallion, but he gets shackled to a tree. Has a weird angle there. Sudoi is going to waveform in, take that Bambo kill as 1437 trying to drop off the last of his mana, but Shadow Shaman coming in hot, but we have Anti-Mage now popping his Manta style and burning the rest of the mana from Shadow Shaman, who's gonna live with 39 HP. One more blink is all he needs, but he's kind of low on mana. He only has one blink after that if he decides to push it. So Sand King is the only one who's going to go down from that engagement, and Mouz being denied that tier 2 mid lane tower. Well, a good fight by zNation. zDoi really, I mean, I don't know. He used the Ethereal Blast on the one with the pipe, and when you have all those options, the one with the pipe is your the last one you choose. You get 30% spell resistance. Plus Enigma is pretty tanky as well. Like, he doesn't have the most health on the team, but he has that pipe, which gives him so much effective health against that magic damage. So zNation can be trying once again for this Rax. zDoi not having much item progression at all compared to Black, who has picked up a Manta style and a Perseverance. He probably not going to be building that Perseverance into Battle Fury. It'll be a really late Battle Fury, kind of more for damage than for farm. That's something you don't really see every day. Forge Spirits are going to get killed. Goodbye, Forge Spirits. See Anti-Mage, does he have anything yet? He hasn't spent his money. He's probably just going to save it for buyback. They're going to need buyback. Bambo hiding behind the entire zNation team. It's a matter of time before he decides to unleash that epicenter. And no, it's not going to be there. I apologize if you could hear some other sounds going on. There is other stuff going around me, and I don't really have control of that, so. zDoi, I mean, in the meantime, going to be teleporting to the top lane. Just going to be pushing that out a little bit, getting some extra farm. And he does have a replicant over here for another 30 seconds, so he's effectively with his team. And that's something that Morphling does allow you to do. Split push. Who does have his Mithril Hammer now, and his BKB is going to be coming. It's actually an illusion of Bambo as the pipe popped off. Mouz wants to get something, that's why they popped the pipe. Black is going to blink in, and Bambo, and going to be force-staffed into Stellar, and he's going to Burrow Strike him and instantly get out. Deafening Blast goes on to Sing Sing and to Black. Which is going to cancel out that fight for now, but Invoker does have a haste rune. That's a pretty dangerous Invoker. A little bit of a standoff right now. It's very delicate. One person gets caught a little bit out of position, he's going to die. Shackle shot onto the fake Sand King. Looks like zNation knows it's fake, and now they definitely know it's fake. Black taking a shock, but he has maxed out spell shield. He's not going to care that much. Taking a little bit more damage, getting right-clicked a little bit, but Mouz just slowly pushing out. Such a delicate situation right here. If one person, there we go, Nexus getting caught a little bit out of position. He's going to actually miss on the Burrow Strike, allowing his Windrunner to get away. And this fight, still going to be the delicate situation that it is. zDoi now looking for someone. He's going to shotgun Sing Sing, but he's going to pop his BKB and his ultimate. He's going to go for Stallioner. Stallioner is going to pop his drum and run for it, but he's going to get Burrow Strike and force that. That was wild. Anti-Mage actually is going to manage to pick him up with the ultimate as you see him drop onto nothing. Mouz Sing Sing in the meantime going on to zDoi. Do they have a Burrow Strike? They do have a Burrow Strike right now. The question is, do they have enough damage? Waveform is up. They can go up under the high ground. Anti-Mage in the meantime going on to Wet God, and now he's going to head off the Morphling. Morphling actually going the complete opposite direction. He's now going to grab a DD rune, but it doesn't matter. Burrow Strike is enough to seal the deal. In the meantime, 1437 going to run away from Nexus and Crazy. Power Shot is going to hit, but it's not going to be enough to kill, but Invoker's right click should be enough. There it is. But the rest of Mouz has arrived. You see a Burrow Strike going on to Crazy. Crazy is dead. He doesn't have a Force Staff. He does have Ghost Walk, but no. Mouz with their dust. They're completely prepared. And this should mean the tier 2 of zNation is going to be taking a fall. This Morphling, not really... I don't know about this Morphling. I mean, like, he is doing a lot of damage, but he just completely fell off. He got perfect farm, but he didn't capitalize on it. And in complete contrast to that, Black got completely shut down, and now he has some pretty big items. Actually going for that Lincoln Sphere, going to be protecting him from the shotgun, and more importantly, the Hex and Shackle. And Shackle Shot, see a Blink Burrow Strike on 2. Are they going to go in on that? No, a Shackle Shot on 2 in retaliation. Going to be holding off the kill. Mech gets popped off, and Fortification. It's a little bit of a waste of Fortification, unless Mouz decide to pull back, which they do. Enigma is completely out of mana. It's probably part of the decision. And Sing Sing sitting at 3,100 gold, level 19, and Black also sitting at level, well, he's a little bit behind the Broodmother, level 18. He's going to be popping 19 relatively soon, not as much gold. But he has recovered pretty well from that crappy early game. Come With Me is going to pack that pipe and mech, and I guess that's kind of the reason why Morphling wanted him out of the fight. Come With Me has a lot of really situational items and skills that he needs to use, the black hole, the mech, the pipe, and if you manage to take him out of the game very early, then you're not gonna have those threats. See Broodmother finishing up her Manta style, so there are gonna be a lot of illusions on the map. You're gonna have anti-mage illusions, you're gonna have Broodmother illusions, and that's just gonna confuse zNation quite a bit, because that's what illusions do. It's actually a myth that they do damage. Yeah. Mostly for confusion tactics, most definitely. See Black now pushing down the top lane. This tower is at pretty healthy HP, and Black, I don't think, has enough damage to really clear it out. Wet God is the only one who's coming in to support, and if Wet God tries to engage them, he will die. Especially with Bambo in the wings with a Force Staff and Blink Dagger, so this Sand King could go so much distance. But you have a Blink Dagger, Force Staff, and a Burrow Strike. That's like half the map. Well, I mean, like, not half the map, but you know what I mean. He has a huge amount of initiation range. Enigma now with the Blink Dagger. Sunstrike being used on to a... Well, it's actually going to hit Come With Me. So it's a kind of a non-disabled Sunstrike, managing hit with Invoker, so that's going to be a little bit of a damage advantage from this incoming fight. But it's going to... Doesn't look like zNation wants to do it. Actually, we do have someone teleporting in. This is going to be Windrunner. Sing Sing going to be shackled up. Failed shackle, however. And Sadoy, I'm not sure where his illusion is. Oh, it's in the base, so he could just instantly jump back to the fountain, restore himself. We have a Blink Burrow Strike going on to both the Shadow Shaman and the Windrunner, taking a lot of damage, and Stallion is going to go down. Where is the black hole? Is there going to be a black hole? No, there's actually Crystal Maiden dropping her ultimate on nothing, taking a lot of damage from the Serpent Wards. Anti-Mage just going to town, however, going to be picking up the Windrunner, and looks like he's going to get crazy as well. So a triple kill, holy shit streak for Black. And Mouz just coming back from this game. zNation no longer has the gold lead or the experience lead. The experience actually 20,000 in favor of Mouz. Gold not as much, but gold will come even more later on. And Morphling does have his BKB up, but isn't doing enough damage. You see very aggressive Blink forward, going onto the Lich's Black Hole, gonna go for the last hero onto the zNation side, which is the Morphling. He's gonna be taken down as well. The Enigma Black Hole taking the last hit. So, something you don't see every day. But this is going to be racked for Mouz Sports. Complete turnaround, just a couple of fights not going the way of zNation. They overextended way too much, and their Morphling was not as impactful as his early farm would have allowed him to be. And there's going to be the GG call from zNation. So Mouz is able to take this game after being behind for quite a bit of the game. Same don't DC rule. I don't know what that's about. But you know what? I don't have to, because I'm just speaking right now. So Mouz Sports gonna be able to take a pretty good victory. Anti-Mage really recovering. Oh, it's timed. That's like... time rating is like the stupidest thing I've ever heard in Dota, ever. I'll tell you why. Because this game took 40 minutes. And, you know, it was a pretty close game. It was pretty good. But if you take a pushing lineup, you could be done in 20 minutes. And apparently that will give you a better score, if I understand it correctly. But if you take a 1 carry 4 support lineup, you could be done in an hour and 15 minutes. And a win is a win. It doesn't matter how you actually manage to win, as long as you get them to tap out. Time should not be an issue at all. If that's how it works, I disapprove wholeheartedly. But either way, Mouz Sports taking a victory there. Thanks for listening, guys. This has been Mike Loris casting the open bracket of the defense. Actually, I think it's the defense 2. So leave me any comments about what you thought of the cast. I'll be trying to fill in all of the defense games that is not being casted by the really huge casters. So I'm sure you guys don't want to see repeat games. No one really wants to see that. So I'll be trying to get more and more games out as time goes by. So thanks for watching, guys. GG.